Hello everyone, this is Alexandria Simons and welcome back to another Storytime video. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to do some imagery in this one again since at the moment I'm not really having the energy to put visuals in, so you might have to picture them in your head. But this story time is basically about, well, before I tell you guys that, have any of you ever had those friends that apparently you don't really get along all that well, or you had fallen out of that friendship with that person? Well, I assume that everyone has some point had those moments because even someone like myself has. We all had those days where, like, we just become friends with these people, then we found out that later on they're not really exactly the best for us, or in other words, like, basically, like, let's just say you basically fell out with that person, basically. Because I have two stories for you that I'm going to share in this video. And I'm not only making this story time just to share you my side of things, but it's to show others who are also dealing with this similar thing that basically you're not alone, and that I'm pretty sure everyone has doubted with those types of moments in their life, or had a falling out with a certain friendship. So, yeah. But to be honest, these story times have been lingering in my head for a while, so I found out that now should be the time where I probably just explain. So, the first story time that I'm going to tell you is when I was a freshman in high school. Basically, I was starting art club around the time during freshman year, and my aide introduced a student that she knowed, and for privacy reasons, we're gonna call her Becky. So she introduced me to Becky, and we just seemed to really clicked. And I believe this was the time before I met my best friend Danny, so yeah. But basically, me and Becky really clicked, and we'd see each other in art club a lot. And I even one point was able to find her and have her sit at the table that I was at during lunch. And I believe around that time is when I introduced her to Danny, and we sort of became like a trio. But I've noticed that, like, a few days after I introduced them, that something just didn't really sit right. Like, the first, this is where the first issue happens between me and Becky, and basically what happened was that I was basically messaging her and Danny on a group chat, and then Becky all of a sudden puts up that she has to, I'm sorry, please ignore that, that she has to take, like, a pregnancy test, and me and Danny were like, wait, what? So we got to learn more about it, and she was worried that she might be pregnant. And from what I've learned from Becky, she had a boyfriend who was already out of high school, and while and Becky is a senior around this time, so yeah, while Danny is a junior, so yeah, I was basically the youngest in the group. But yeah, that is basically like the first drama that I've personally ever been in my opinion. Not like drama in like theater drama, but like drama, like girl drama and all that. But like, basically, we found out from the text message that she needs to take a pregnancy test, and she feared that she's gonna get kicked out of the house. And this was around the time, like around the time as a freshman, I was pretty naive per se, because like I was like, I'm sure your parents wouldn't kick you out of the house, and Danny ended up showing me that like sometimes parents would kick their children out of the house, and when like they're basically like teen parents or something like that. So that's when I kind of just started like feeling like like something crawling on my back, basically like the fear crawling up my back for Becky. So yeah, so basically we were able to FaceTime a bit, and yeah, luckily things seemed normal in the FaceTime, and luckily we've learned that after she took the test that it came back negative, so she wasn't pregnant, which thankfully was a good sign. And well, like the second drama that came up is that like basically, let's just say like she ended up finding out one morning that she had I'm trying to remember what they're called, but like she found out that she basically have little like bugs in her hair, basically, and Danny ended up finding them too. Wait, head lice. Yes, I remember now. Head lice is what they are called. But yeah, Becky and Danny found out that they have head lice, so they have to stay out of school for that day. And meanwhile, like my mom brushed for my hair and I didn't have any, and I don't remember or even have a history of me getting like head lice, but my aide in high school did tell me that like Becky did have this one friend that had a major head lice problem, so maybe she got it from her. But instead of thinking about that one friend with a head lice problem, she blamed it on Danny for getting the head lice. But like, yeah, let's just say there was a lot of yelling in the group chat that morning, and I was trying to I was trying to stop the arguing, and let's just say this is like the first ever drama that I have ever been in, like non-theater wise. And I probably said that before, but I'm probably going to repeat myself, so I apologize for that. But yeah, that was the first ever like high school girl drama that I have ever been in, so I really don't know what to do at that time. Like I was just crying and literally begging them in the group chat to stop arguing or stop fighting and all that, until luckily I found out that later on during the school day they were able to make up, but they were not really as close anymore, and Becky actually left our friend group now, so it was just me and Danny. But then a few years or for like probably a year or a few months passed, and then I just saw something on FaceTime, and that's when I found out that it was Becky. And as soon as I found out that it was her, let's just say I panicked. Like let's just say I felt the nervousness rush up my back again. I cannot believe that. Like, I thought she deleted our like, I thought that she full on deleted our numbers, but no, she's apparently back and still has our numbers. And I was just like, and I was messaging Danny, like, did you see, like, who messaged us? And like, Danny still doesn't trust Becky for, like, how she basically framed her for the headlights incident. But, like, I was so nervous to even say a word. But, like, I was legit freaking out. Like, I was trying to, like, build up the confidence to, like, try and talk to Becky. But basically the nerves got the better of me and ended up with Danny having to message her. And Becky actually apologized to the both of us and for everything that has happened, and she wondered if we can be friends again. Well, like, Danny didn't, like, want to be friends with her again, but me being, like, I'm basically the main difference between me and Danny is that, like, I would give, like, second chances. Like, I would think that someone has learned their lesson and would try to, like, repair the broken relationship, whatever. But, like, yeah, Danny, basically, long story short, Danny didn't give her a second chance while I gave her a second chance. So, yeah. We haven't really messaged at all recently, but I really hope that she's doing fine. And, like, I just hope that she's doing alright for the time being. Like basically per se, I just hope that she's doing okay. But yeah, that's story 1 out of the way. Now we're gonna go on to story 2. And story 2, in my opinion, is a little bit more, this story, I would say, like, hits more at home for me because, I'm sorry, I might be huffing and puffing a lot. This story is kinda hard to explain without, like, basically my emotions getting the better of me, but I'm just gonna try my best. But here we go with story 2. So story 2 takes place, like, this time it was an online thing. Like, the first story was IRL in real life, while the second story is online. So the second story goes that I found on Lucky's community post once that there's this YouTuber that is made a video about how they're, like, struggling and all that, and I'm not gonna give away this YouTuber or anything. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce a name for that person or anything like that. I'm just gonna use, like, pronouns for this person in this story, because even just bringing their name up just basically shakes me. But anyways, here we go. So after I found out that video my empathy kicked in, being like, I should try and help this person to the best of my abilities. So I took it upon myself to basically ask that, like, basically, like, goes to this person's channel, like and sub, like, basically do comments and all that. And apparently I found out that they had Roblox, so so we were able to chat on Roblox for a bit, and that's when this person started asking me like why did you help me or anything like that, or like, who knows, I could be like in 30 or old or something like that. And like, I mean, that is true. I don't know who is behind the phone, but at that point, the last thing that came to mind, that what I wanted to do is to help them. And before I continue on with the second story, I'm just gonna say, the second story is I'm gonna bring up my empathy a lot during the second story, so yeah, just to let you all know beforehand. But like, basically at this point, my empathy has fully like went full drive for me, so I was like, yeah, like, I might not know that, but at the moment, all that I wanted to do is to help you and all that. So yeah, like, we were being able to talk, and we even found a way to exchange numbers so that way we can text each other on messages. So yeah, and then one day came around where we decided to FaceTime, and my mom wanted to make sure that this is not like some adult or anything, which I understand, so she watched on the sidelines as I basically do FaceTime with this person, and it turns out that it wasn't an elderly man, but someone who is 1 year younger than me. And yeah, let's just say the call turned out really well, and we ended up doing a bunch of calls from time to time after that. We had our highs and lows, but overall, it was really good. And like, this is about like a few months in, I believe, where I heard on one of the calls, basically, I heard it was basically this one time where like they had like another like, this person had another friend of theirs, or theirs, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be struggling with pronouns for a bit, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna be struggling a little bit. But basically, this person invited over a friend onto the call at that time, and this is kind of when the first drama happened, like the first incident sort of happened, but like between this thing. But like, basically we were doing truth or dare until the final dare, where the friend dares the person to text their crush. It's basically like message their crush, basically. And as they are doing this, I noticed a message popped up on my phone. And that's when the hint clicked to me that I was the one that they had a crush on. And to be completely honest, I wasn't ready for it. I was not expecting it at all. And this was way before I met my boyfriend. But like, yeah, that just really shocked me. And let's just say around this time, this person went by a different identity, like used different pronouns at that time, like the current ones that he is using. So yeah, but like, let's just say around the time when that happened, the he went by she at that time. And if any of you known me personally or anything like that, then you would probably know that I'm, and Danny even said it herself, I am straighter than a board, and I never had like a history at all where I felt like, where basically I fell in love with a girl, basically. So yeah, but around that time, the he went by she at that time when this event took place. So yeah, but like at that point I was just in shock. I wasn't sure like what to respond, and I felt like the spotlight was on me now. And I know that this person has been like rejected multiple times, and I was afraid to hurt their feelings. Like as I said before, my empathy was in full drive at this point, so I didn't even think clearly about like myself in this situation. I only cared about what he is going to react, not how like I will react. So I decided like basically, you know, like when you feel like the spotlight is on you or something like that. That's kind of like how I felt at that moment. So I didn't think all that clearly, and I decided to accept their confession out of like not like hurting his feelings, but like, yeah, I was really glad to see him happy. And I did tell my parents about it, and like I mostly told my mom, and like she's not mad at, she, like, just so you know, my mom is not homophobic or anything. It's just, let's just say she can like tell that I didn't like this person the way that I use they, them pronouns a lot for this person, and I know now at times he goes by he now, so I'm gonna struggle with the pronouns a bit, which I apologize about. I'm so sorry. But my mom could basically tell that I didn't like this person the way that he liked me. So her and I basically had a little pep talk, and after thinking more clearly about it, how I might feel, like, of course, like, he will be happy, but like, I don't think I really will be. Like he might be happy, but I might not be, since like as I told you, around the time he identified as a she around that time. So, and like I said before, I am straighter than a board. So yeah, so after thinking more about it, I decided to message them about it, and we decided to talk over FaceTime about it, which, and let's just say it was kind of a really rough call, basically. Like I understand that they're like, not they, he. I'm sorry that he was angry with me, which I understand, but at that time, I felt like I was on the spot, so I wasn't even thinking all that. I wasn't thinking right at the time, so that's why I accepted his confession instead of told him the truth. But yeah, like basically as I try to explain to him about it, he just gets even more mad at me during the call. Like, no, like I don't say more mad at me, but like basically he responded like harshly to me, which I understand that he's mad. I understand, but it's not like I full on lied to him. I basically did that out of the sake of my empathy. Like I mostly accepted his confession so that he doesn't get heartbroken, Dan. I can do this. I can do this. But yeah, like, my parents were hearing in on this conversation, and I could tell by the look on their faces that they were not liking what they were hearing at all. And that's when we decided that we should take a break from talking for a while. So yeah, but as like I went to go and say my goodbyes, they kind of kept on like saying things like I'm gonna miss you or something like that. And as I was trying to like respond to them, like it keeps on like holding up the call, and like my dad at that moment just full on snapped. Like he grabbed my phone out of my hand and lashed out at the person to just say their goodbyes and hang up. Like he didn't hung up the phone himself, but he basically said that to the person and handed the phone back to me. So we decided that probably at that moment it was the best time to end the call there. But yeah, I would say that like that first event was kind of like my fault. But like I said, I felt like I didn't have time to think properly at that moment about how I'm feeling. I mostly accepted their confession because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. But a very honest lesson that I've learned from that day, that it's best to tell the truth than live a lie, basically. So yeah, but after a few times I was getting a bit better, even though I had some moments. But I decided that probably around that time is when like we were still chatting on like Roblox at the time, and like we were still talking from there, and they kept on asking, not they, he, why do I keep doing that? Why do I keep on mixing up pronouns? Why? But basically, like, he kept on messaging me, like, have I felt better enough to call again? And I would say, like, maybe in a few days or so. But like it turns out that this person around the time was like pretty impatient. Like, I was just saying, like, around that time, like, they were like pretty impatient because like they already wanted to talk with me. They're like ready to talk with me again, but like at that time I wasn't really all that ready. But I decided that after getting my parents' permission another day that I went back to talking to this person again. And luckily we had a much more better of an understanding of each other now, and like around this time basically is when like basically my parents and I like installed like a new rule for the calls, like a new boundary basically, which is basically I could be on call for about 2 hours or so. Basically no more than 2 hours per call that we do. So yeah, we did that call boundary thing, and it was working out a lot more better. Like I didn't really feel as stressed as I was the first time, and we mostly had more we basically like we still were able to talk and have fun even though it was only 2 hours, but like hey, at least things were working. And this was around the time where I met someone else and introduced them to this person, hoping that we can also help this person out. So we became like a trio, and this boundary is still going on, and then like there's this one day where like at one of the calls that we were doing, and this is kind of weird where like we're getting near to where like the second problem happened. So basically like it was in this call where like this person asked me, "You're still doing the 2 hour limit thing?" And I said yes, and they asked like maybe that we can like extend that boundary a little bit, or like and like I thought about it, but like yeah. So after that call, I asked my mom if it's okay if we can extend the 2 hour mark on the calls, and she said sure, just as long as it's not like over or exactly 6 hours on the call. So yeah, we extended it now, and let's just say when we extended it, things kind of went a little bit downhill from there, and I like the longer time limits weren't working for me at all. Like I was having like an emotional roller coaster at that time, and like I didn't find the calls as fun anymore, and like I felt myself like becoming like more and more like, let's just say sometimes I would feel more like cautious because like I'm gonna be completely honest, I kinda have some poor communication around the time, like, and He kind of did too, but I don't exactly wanted to admit that straight to him. But, like, basically there were things that would upset us, but we would never really tell the other about it. So, yeah, it was around that time when that started popping up, and I was kind of more anxious when I was on the calls because I don't know what else I might do that could end up triggering this person in some way, or this person triggering me. So, like, yeah, so the longer time periods at that time, they weren't really working well for me at all. So with my mom's help, we decided to tell them, and this was around the time when I now have Discord to communicate to both this person and the new friend that we have made. So, basically, we got onto the Discord call together, and with me, him, and the new friend, and I'm not really gonna say the new friend's name either, so I'm just gonna call them new friend for the time being. And so, right off the bat, as soon as we got into the call, like, I was trying to tell something serious, but they were kind of already goofing off or something like that, and like, after I was able to get their attention, I told them that, like, I basically wanted to go back to the 2-hour time limit because I don't think the longer hours were working for me, and like, in all sorts of stuff. But, and this is the part that it's probably gonna piss me off the most, so if I start shouting or anything like that, I apologize for that. But, like, after I explained myself why I wanted to go back to the 2-hour time limit and all that, him and the new friend, they kind of turned that conversation, flipped it into a 180, and made it into something about themselves. Like, at that moment, I felt like they never even gave a damn about me. Like, right after that happened, like, I was, like, they took that conversation and turned it into a 180. They basically turned it into something about themselves, is basically what I was trying to say. And I have never felt so disrespected in all of my life. Like, all that I ask is to go back to a simple boundary, and I might be overly exaggerating this, but this is personally how I view it. But basically, they turned it as if I was going on vacation without them. But, like, I have never felt the legit, like, I cannot put into words how badly I wanted to throw my phone out the window. That day. Like, I was pissed. I was so angry. Like, I have never felt so disrespected in all of my life. And I looked over at my mom, and I could definitely tell just by the look on her face that she is not liking where this conversation is going. And at that point, when that happened, she just told me to turn off the call, and I did so. I was taking no more of that BS. I'm sorry for shouting, but that is the one that mainly triggered me the most, was that thing, because like at that point I felt like that new friend and him, like, they basically didn't care about me at all. Like, they didn't care about how I was feeling. Like, it's like they don't even give a damn about me. Like, I just felt like I was being manipulated at this point. Like, I felt like I was being used. I just felt like I meant nothing to them, and it really annoyed me. Like, it pissed me off. It really pissed me off. And I even wailed in my mom's arms after that call. I cried so hard into my mom's arms after that call. I haven't felt so disrespected in all of my life, and I just felt like I meant nothing to them, and I just... Ugh. I can do this. I can do this. It's almost over. It's almost over. Also, I'm sorry for the crying. It's just, it's kind of hard for me to tell this story in particular without feeling basically having like a roller coaster of emotions. So please bear with me. But basically with that, I went no contact with him or the new friend in a while now, and I was starting to feel better, and I believe this was around the time I started telling Danny about all this, I believe. And yeah, and like, I do have my moments where like I would just get upset, or like one time I got so furious, like when I looked at like I remember I was having one of those moments and I saw like 3 deodorants standing together on the table, and I just smacked them off the table. Like, it really messed with me mentally that time. But like, as I was starting to get better, I received a message from I believe this was Cleo, I believe it was, or I believe this was Cleo or something like that. Another online friend who I haven't talked to in a while, but or maybe it was him, I wasn't so sure. But like, yeah, like, basically either him or Cleo messaged me how like they really missed me and was wondering if I'll be up to chatting with them again. And I said that I'll think about it, and I even talked to my mom about it, and basically, like, when we went to talk privately about this, she said that, like, she'll only allow me to go back again on under, like, my choice to leave the call, and if she ever, like, caught me being upset again over this person, then it's over. No contact with them, like, no YouTube, no Roblox, no messages or time or Discord, nothing. No more contact with this person. And I agreed to that, so that's when I started talking back with them again. And it was good. It was doing good around the time, and like, it was all doing good until one day I just eventually couldn't take it anymore, and just ended up becoming upset. And my brother, like, if any of you know my brother, you know that he really, like, cares about me and all that. So when he noticed me crying, he went to go tell my mom. And, well, like, I wanted to tell him that, like, that I'll be okay, but, like, that's kind of when I realized something at that moment, that, like, that I basically didn't have the energy to tell him anything, or whatever it is. Like, I just, at that moment of realization, I just realized that I felt, like, emotionally drained. Like, basically, like, I felt like I was a dried out desert with not very much water left. And that's kind of when I knew, like, at that moment, that like, my empathy is running out, and I couldn't give anymore. Like, I have nothing left to give. Like, basically, with empathy, according to a TikTok audio, and there's one TikTok audio that describes empathy, about it, like, being a disease or something like that. Like, empathy is not really a disease, but, like, when you have extreme amount of empathy, then that's when it could some point be a disease, or even a curse. Because, like, at this, like, remember in the beginning of story 2 where I mentioned that, like, my empathy went on to, like, full drive to help out this person? Well, at that time, I noticed the full drive is, like, slowing down, just nearly becoming nothing at that point. And the one TikTok audio where it basically, basically the line that I was referring to from the TikTok audio about it is that it is called empathy. It means to give blood till there's none left to bleed. That is basically what happened. I basically have nothing left. I have no more blood to give. I have nothing left to give. I'm emotionally drained. Like, I have nothing left for this person. And that realization just hit me when I realized that I didn't have the energy to stop my brother from getting my mom. So when my mom came up the stairs and asked me why I was crying, I just explained how, like, I basically couldn't take any more of it, so, and just like how our deal is, and just to let you know, like, I didn't tell him or the new friend about the deal. Like, I didn't want to, like, the reason why I didn't tell them is because I don't want, like, because, like, the main reason why I became friends with them in the first place is to try to, like, help them, and I don't want them to, like, basically, I want it to be, like, a safe space, like, where you could basically vent out your problems, because, like, holding in your emotions just isn't healthy for you. So I try to be, like, a safe space for that person. But I realized at that moment that, like, when I had nothing left to give, I just feel so drained. Like, I felt, like, not really, like, felt nothing, but, like, I basically feel like that I should just, like, I felt like I was put under so much weight that I didn't even realize it until last minute. Like, basically, like, if any of you ever saw the video about empathy, like, you may not be understand what I'm talking about, but there's a video explaining empathy where, like, basically this person is helping out others, and in ways they're, like, taking away, like, their pain away from the person that they are helping. That was basically me. Like, I was trying to, like, take their pain away from them, but it ended up, like, it ended up just feeling like I was carrying a weight on my shoulders the whole way through this friendship, until the third chance till I realized that nothing was going to change and that I was just drained. And just as my mom, before I go on with that, but, like, yeah, I don't want them to be, like, afraid if I tell them, so that's why I didn't tell, like, the new friend or him about the deal that my mom made. But, like, yeah, basically, like, after that call, Copper, please don't step on my phone, but, like, basically after that call, like, after the talk with me and my mom, I sent a final message to him and the new friend. Don't lay on my phone, Copper. Oh my god. But, like, basically, go away, stupid fly. But, like, yeah, I'm sorry, as I was trying to say. Basically, but, like, after I sent them the goodbye message, I, like, deleted Discord and, like, deleted their numbers, like, absolutely deleted, like, everything or that has them basically on it. So, yeah, And that's kind of when that sort of third chance, like, ended or something like that. And it took about like a few years or months later after that where I ended up getting like messages from other people about from him asking me asking me like, hey, why did you not become hey, why did you leave him or something like that, or like, why don't you go back with him or something like that. And like it that went on for a while now. Like he even got like one of my biggest like one of my online sisters in it at the time, like one of my closest online sisters in at the time, like he even got lucky involved with this. And if any of you remember my vent video, then you'll kind of understand where that came from. And basically I was trying to explain that that this is between me and him alone, and that no one else should get involved in it. And this basically like happened, like I made that video after one of my online friends like messaged me about him, and that was just at that point where I just felt like I had enough. I was so annoyed and so like pissed that like just sending people like after me and any of that, like asking me or trying to convince me to go back with him. And I just got legit pissed. I just got so mad. But like, yeah, that's kind of why I originally made that vent video. And he even commented on it once. And then like my mom also has YouTube, so she replied to some of the comments so that way I don't have to. But like, yeah, but like basically this is kind of like, yeah, that's basically what it is. But luckily that has ended after that. And yeah, well, like this isn't really exactly where it ended, but like I had like DeviantArt around this time, and I was liking some of his artwork around the time, and liking some of his artwork, and he just seemed like so confused as to like why I was liking his art. And like I could have originally said because I liked his art, but I decided to go with like, since you kind of proven that you've changed, like basically like stop sending like people out after me, basically I decided to just like everything and all that. But like, yeah, so it kind of turned into us somewhat talking for a little bit, but not like as if we exchanged numbers again. But like I did have TikTok around this time, so yeah, and he also had TikTok, so yeah. And there was one time where he like invited me to go into this game with him where basically you get to draw whatever you want on there, and we were overall having a good time until he suggested that we do a previous role play together, but he wants to do it through chat, and I was like, I don't know, because like I wasn't sure, because like I don't like doing things behind my parents' back, especially when it's about something like this. So I decided to ask my mom to see if it's okay, and of course her answer is no. Like, I already felt like she's already gonna say no, but I don't want, like, as I said, I don't want to be hiding things from her or doing things behind her back. I don't want to be doing that. So, yeah. I basically asked her, she said no, and I explained to him that like I'm sorry, but my mom said no, and that's the last time that I've ever talked with him. And it didn't really like come up again until this another YouTube friend of mine. Like, I'm not really close with this person, but I do like their videos or comment on them sometimes, or even join their live streams at one point, and I'm not going to be giving away this person, but like, they asked me a question, and I asked me if they could ask me a question, and I said, sure, what's the question? And that's when they asked about him, and I was like, why? Like around that, I got the chills, like, again. Like, I was like, out of, like, in my mind, I was like, out of all of the questions. And meanwhile, I was just like, what do I say? And I wanted to be honest, because like, I don't like lying. Like, I don't like lying to people. So I of course told them that I do know this person, and I found out that they have been talking to this person recently and asked me some questions about like why, like, basically why I left or anything like that, or something with that. Like, those comments are deleted now, like not the main question, not the main comment itself, but the rest of the comments on that, under that main comment, was deleted though, because like, just looking back on them, it just freaks me out. Like, it just internally freaks me out. So you wouldn't be able to see those anymore, but yeah. But basically, that was it for story 2. And oh my goodness, 1 hour and 3, about to be 4 minutes. I am so sorry. I've probably been on a tangent throughout the second one a lot, or probably because from all of the stuttering that I've been doing. It's just some of these, it's just the second story in particular is kind of hard for me to tell without like either feeling angry or feeling upset or anything like that. But like, yeah, but like, as I said earlier in the video, I'm not only making this video to just vent or to share my experience, but I just want to let people who are going through the possibly same situation know that they are not alone, and that, yeah, like, basically you're not alone, and you can somehow get out of this situation. But like, yeah, I'm sorry that this is kinda a like roller coaster of a ride, but like, yeah, but like, if you ever do know these people who I talked about in this video, just please, 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 for the love of God, don't send any hate to them whatsoever. Like, don't go after them. Like, don't say anything mean. Just keep your, just basically in kindergarten, keep your hands to yourselves, basically. But like, yeah, like, I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but people nowadays defend their favorite YouTuber like it's war. So defend their YouTuber like it's war in the comment section. So I have to say that. But like, yeah, that's basically all for today. I hope you all have a very, very lovely day, and just know that you are never alone in these types of situations, and that there is a way for you to get out of those, like, unhealthy friendships. So that's basically gonna be all for today of me kinda ranting while storytelling, but like, yeah, that's it. So I hope you all have a great or fantastic day. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering a lot, but I should probably, why am I so terrible at self-promotion? Why? But like, I hope you all have a very, very lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody!